Welcome to Breaking Solo, how solopreneurs break barriers, build brands, and embrace the future of business.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Solo. Sorry for my voice. I have bronchitis, so I hope it's not too irritable. I'm really excited today. My guest is Dr. Suhail Hussain. Okay, I think I got that right, but maybe not. Thank you for being with me today, and you can correct my pronunciation if you like.
Yeah, that was fine. Dr. Suhail Hussain, that was fine. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. So please tell the audience what you do.
So I am a GP, or as you'd say in the States, a family physician. And I have been a family physician for 20 years. Despite looking so young still, I've been a doctor for a long time. And 4 years ago, I transitioned from the public sector to the private sector. So that's when I entered the world of entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, however you want to call it.
Nice. Okay, so what caused you to go into solo business? What was the inspiration for that?
So this was primarily triggered by COVID. I felt that during COVID, doctors couldn't see patients and patients couldn't see doctors. And it was not a situation that was really amenable to a good doctor-patient relationship. And something I'm very strong on is the relationship. So we were really restricted how we could help patients. And unfortunately, after COVID, that continued, at least in the UK, that continued. We were still having to see patients remotely, by video, by telephone. And that was not the kind of service that I wanted to provide to people. I like to see them face to face. I like to have that relationship. So that kind of prompted me to leave the NHS, a very long-standing institution here in the UK, and start working on my own.
Wow. Yeah, it's much better if you can see your doctor face to face.
Absolutely,
That's
yes. Yeah.
really important, I think. So what's been your biggest challenge in going solo?
So I would say I'll split this into two. Number one is the clinical side of things. When you're a GP, even though you're a solo practitioner in that you are responsible for your patients, you have contact with other people in the clinic, or as we call them here, surgery. You can take advice from people. So that clinical aspect of it was not a challenge, but it was different from working in a practice. Now, I'm very experienced, so that wasn't necessarily a major issue for me. But more than that was the thing that people don't tell you. So I am from a long, long history of doctors, 5 generations of doctors,
Wow.
academics, yeah, exactly, physicians. So none of us have been in business. So it's not something that we've ever done. So it was that whole thing about working in a business, setting up your own business, that side of it was very foreign and alien to me.
Yeah, I can imagine. You didn't have any experience in that area.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so did you have a moment when you thought, "I'm gonna give up. I'm done with this"?
I mean, still, even to this day, I think, even though it's been 4 years, I still think, is it worth it? Is it worth all the hassle of trying to drum up patients, or as I call them sometimes, clients, trying to drum up business, trying to get people to come and see me, but equally, obviously, provide that service, which is really important, that clinical service, that empathetic, that understanding. So on one side, I am obviously a clinician, but on the other side, I'm trying to build a business.
Yeah, and what most solopreneurs don't realize is that once they become a business owner, their primary responsibility is to get clients.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you use to differentiate yourself from other physicians, your competitors?
So I believe in what I call modern medicine with traditional bedside values. So that old doctor-patient relationship, you know your doctor knows you, you have that connection with them. They know the grandfather, the father, and the newborn infant, and that continuity, that family medicine, really. And a client actually said to me that you are part of our extended family. And that really dawned on me that, I'm actually doing this really well. I'm actually providing that service that I think we should all experience as patients.
Wow, that's, when I was very small, our physician came to our house.
Mm, mm. Yes.
That didn't last very long. They stopped that one.
Well, that is the primary service that I provide, is a home visiting service, which is obviously unusual as well. But in the
Yeah.
olden days, you used to have the community doctor who used to come to your home. I mean, at once upon a time, they used to physically deliver the baby as well with the midwife at home. So we're very far away from that. But I am basically a home visiting doctor.
That's amazing. I bet your patients do love you
Yes.
because you are so involved in their lives. That's cool. So, do you see any industry trends that solopreneurs should be paying attention to?
I think, and this is going to affect all fields, whatever it is, whether it's business, whether it's tech, whether it's finance, and even healthcare. AI is going to be a huge, huge factor in any type of business. So whether that's from what I'm seeing now is AI taking over admin, so phone call answering, email handling, all of these type of things that you may have had a PA to deal with traditionally can now be done by AI. Very efficient. It never sleeps. It never takes a break. It doesn't go for coffee. It's very efficient. It's not something I have, but it's something I'm definitely thinking of looking into. So I think AI is huge, and actually within the clinical context as well. I think it's getting better at least maybe not diagnosing, but triaging symptoms, and particularly in radiology, because of its pattern recognition capabilities, it can look at thousands of scans and make a diagnosis very quickly.
Wow, I didn't realize that. That's very interesting. So, do you see shifts happening that are going to change how solopreneurs work?
Yeah, I think if we don't embrace AI, we're going to get left behind. If you think, okay, I'm not familiar with it, I'm afraid of it, then you're going to get left behind. And maybe in the future, people who don't have to worry about it are people who physically do manual jobs. Come and fix your plumbing, come and fix your kitchen. Maybe they can't be replaced by AI. It'll be all the clerical and admin jobs. Lawyers, accountants, accountants who charge lots of money can perhaps be replaced by an AI.
Okay, I hope not. I hope all of those people still have jobs in the
Yeah.
future. So, do you have a tool, an app, or a resource that you absolutely can't live without for your business?
So I recently, I mentioned PA, I have a PA, and we were communicating on WhatsApp because she's virtual. She doesn't work with me physically. And it was really cumbersome, really, really awkward. Messages used to get lost. And I came across this app. I can't remember. I saw an ad for it. It's called ZenZap. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it has been absolutely a game changer for me. So you can make categories of different, so for example, patient related tasks, admin tasks, invoicing. You can create all these different categories and you can message. It's like WhatsApp. You can message people within that app and you keep things streamlined and organized, as it were. So it's a really, really useful app.
Tell me the name of it again.
ZenZap, ZenZap, I think.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Any books, courses, or mentors that have greatly impacted your success?
So since I've been obviously running my own business, I've been meaning to buy their books. So for one guy, for example, Alex Hormozy, people are very familiar with him. And there's another guy, British guy, Dan Priestley. So I've been looking at their stuff, watching their videos. And I think what Dan Priestley mentions about personal brand is really important, particularly for something like I do. You have to be known for something. You have to stand for something. And building that personal brand is key.
Absolutely. So we tell clients they should write a book
Yeah.
where they demonstrate their authority, and it immediately puts them at the top of the list when people are, as far as their brand is concerned.
Yeah.
So do you have daily habits or routines that keep you focused and productive?
I suppose something I try and do daily is pray. As a Muslim, I believe that's important. And that is something that, I wouldn't class myself as an overly religious individual, but sometimes prayer has power that we underestimate.
Yeah, I would agree. And what's one piece of advice you'd give somebody that's thinking about going solo for their business?
Research your market, and B, don't overlook things that, if you work in a job, you don't have to think about marketing. You don't have to think about potentially social media other than looking at cat pictures. But, don't neglect those things that really are important. So marketing, social media, getting yourself out there. Those are the type of things that I had no idea about. And I've learned more and more as I've been going.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that you just have to do. Yeah. So if there was one thing that you wished you knew when you started, what would that be?
That it can be a lonely road. And actually the point I am at now is thinking about, as I said, I took on a PA recently, maybe taking on other people as well, so that I would not be working in the business so much. So think about that. Yes, starting solo is perhaps the way a lot of people go, one-man band, one plumber and his van. But if you really want to grow a business, you have to think about taking on other people.
Yeah. Yep. It's hard to scale if you're doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
So, do you have any exciting projects or launches you want to share with the audience?
So I have a couple of programs that obviously geographically restricted because of where I am, but I have a weight loss program, and I also have for men ED, erectile dysfunction program. So these are two things that I am very keen on trying to help people with, because weight loss obviously or obesity and being overweight is a major problem for health. And erectile dysfunction is something that is not really talked about enough. Men are very reluctant to come forward and talk about it.
That makes sense. Okay, where can people connect with you and learn more about what you do?
So the channel I'm most active on is my LinkedIn channel, which is, I think, just my name, Dr. Suhail Hussain, GP. I have a YouTube channel. I should be more active on there. But again, this is all, if people type my name into the internet, it will come up with all of these links. So Dr. Suhail Hussain is basically the handle on all these channels.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with me today. I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and I'm glad that you visit your patients at home.
Yeah, thank you so
I
much.
think that's awesome. Thank you for being with me. Audience, we'll see you next time on Breaking Solo.